Hi, everybody. Hi, this is Sandy, and I'm here with Brett this morning. How are you?
I'm great, thanks, Sandy. Yeah, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks. Yeah, it's a sunny day here in Northern California.
We had the sun this morning. It blinded me in my conservatory here,
Oh,
but
I can imagine.
yeah, no, it's back to being British overcast weather now, so we're all good.
Cool. Well, I'm really excited about this month that we're beginning with this Lightning Tools chat. I know you are too.
Yeah. This is probably one of our favorite products. This is the Lightning Conductor that we're going to be talking about. Which if you don't know what the Lightning Conductor is, it's a content aggregation tool, and it's
Mhm.
been around many years. This is a product that we started off back in early versions of the SharePoint on premises to aggregate lists across different site collections. That was the primary reason for building this product. And back then, just to sort of roll back, it's very difficult using things like the content query web part because you were sort of following best practices on having lots of different site collections for performance reasons and backup reasons and things like that. And one of the I guess the trade-offs was not being able to really do a good content aggregation using the content query web part because you couldn't go across the different
Mm.
site collections. So if you wanted to display your tasks or documents and things like that all in one place so you could find them easily, doing that with content query web part was difficult or impossible to go across the different site collections, but also difficult to build views as well. So you had to get your hands dirty with some XSLT
Mhm.
and build some views that way.
If you
Um,
know how.
if you know how, yeah. So things like, if you just imagine rolling up tasks, for example, from task lists, you don't just want the title column. That's going to be meaningless. So really, you want to have, who the task is assigned to, what's the priority of it, when was the start date, when's the due date, and to be able to select those different columns and display them with inside the view as well.
Mm.
So yeah, we came up with the Lightning Conductor. The name of it was actually a joke at first, and then it stuck. So the Lightning Conductor stayed with us as it is today, and it's really gone through several iterations. So it went through
Mm.
being a WSP for SharePoint on premises to becoming a add-in for SharePoint Online, and the last few years it's been available as a SharePoint Framework client-side web part.
Mm.
And I actually saw,
It's just amazing version.
yeah, oh, I saw Vesa from Microsoft today talking about the SharePoint framework and how the SharePoint framework is 4 years old. So actually, the Lightning Conductor is probably close to 4 years old as well
Oh, right.
in the SharePoint framework version. So yeah, it's a great product. It's a modern, responsive, client-side web part that not just aggregating SharePoint list content now, but also getting at content from lists or from Microsoft Graph entities, such as Planner tasks and OneDrive items and Outlook events and that type of thing. All of that content can be displayed inside the web part and then formatted, not just selecting columns, but conditionally formatted and use a data formatting and things like that so that you can really build a nice looking report based upon your content.
Mhm.
And as I mentioned, that can be displayed not just inside of SharePoint Online, but also in Teams. And if you're using SharePoint 2019 as well, you can also use the SPFx version, but not the graph piece, obviously. But it is compatible with both of
Mm.
those.
Yeah. And it's still, I think it's still our most popular product too, after all these years.
Yeah, absolutely. It's what's not to love.
Yeah, it just keeps growing and growing. And uh, I know sometimes people are a little amazed at all the different options there are, but that's because we get customer requests and then our developers are able to add that that in as an option. So yeah, it's so flexible and powerful in the different ways that you can configure it.
Yeah, I mean, people use the term Swiss Army knife for a lot of web parts. This really is that. It's you can do so much with it when it comes to
Mm.
aggregating content. And yeah, I guess let's jump in and have a look at some of the new features, shall we?
Oh yeah, that would be great. Yep.
All right, so let's go and take a look. So here in the Lightning Conductor, you can see that I'm doing a task list rollup. So this is just bringing in some different task lists from different sites. In this case, through a hub and the associated sites, but we can also
Mm.
go across site collections and that type of thing as well. And some of the new features include this column here, where you can see we've got the people avatar. So that's a nice little feature now. You get the pop-up card, which you'll be able to see just here, and we can go through and see more information about that user who has been assigned the task. And over on the right-hand side here, you can also see we've got some conditional formatting using the new pill formatting shape. And that occurs not through JSON or anything like that. We can go through and set the conditional formatting using some simple configuration here. So we've got things like well, as you can see, I've got 3 different rows of conditional formatting, which I can expand. We've got the condition set on each, so you've got the column that you want to set the condition value against, and the operator in the middle there. So we're using the equal to, and then I've got the choice, which is high, medium, or low, and they're the choices that are actually set inside that column. So I can set the conditions, and then we can use the new pill color here to set the color and choose the right shading so that that's sort of suitable to our branding on our site. And just to also point out that you can connect to other web parts as your data source for the conditional formatting. And one of those web parts is actually free. It's the Lightning Filters web part. So you can consume a connection from that. And rather than filtering the Lightning Conductor based on a value that you might select, you can apply conditional formatting based on a value that you select from the filter provider web part. So a good example of that with relation to tasks is, selecting me in a people filter and then having all of my tasks highlighted so that they stand out. And of course, I've got the choice of filtering out everybody else's tasks, but if I do have the requirement of seeing their tasks, but I just want to be able to see mine more clearly, then the conditional formatting works really well with regards to that. So there's a couple of new features already, the sort of thing that you can do with inside a grid view. I'm just going to republish this page and show you some other views that I created inside this instance. So that's one of the benefits as well of the Lightning Conductor. Again, this is not a new feature, it's been around for years, but you can create multiple views all inside the same Lightning Conductor web part instance. And
that's really helpful to help with page loads and things like that.
Yeah, precisely. And just the real estate on the page as well. People get used to that. They can see all of their content within inside that one place there. So there's some great new features. There's one here called the Microsoft To Do. So this is nothing to do with SharePoint lists or libraries. Microsoft To Do is actually its own app, and you can see in here there's 3 different tasks that I've got to complete that are all coming from Microsoft To Do, and we get to that using the graph, and I'll show you exactly how you would go through and configure this in just a moment. But we also have a brand new planner tasks view as well, and the planner tasks view allows me to select the plan from the top here. So here we are in the marketing plan, and then I can see all the tasks associated with that plan. And not only can I view them, but I can also complete them by clicking onto the complete radio button. I can click onto a name here and assign someone else the tasks just by starting to type their name. And I can also add additional tasks to that as well. So we can set, when this is, or the state of that and when it's expected to be completed and who the user is that this is going to be assigned to.
Nice.
So that's a great addition to the Lightning Conductor. And there's a OneDrive items view and things like that. So perhaps way too much to cover inside this webinar on it later on this month. But let me just show you how some of these things are configured. So we'll jump back into the edit mode, and we'll hit the edit web part button on the left there. You can see these are all the views that I've configured. And if I want to add a new one, I just hit the plus, and we can go through and configure it. And we've got this sort of quick, easy configuration, or we can do an advanced one as well. So just getting things like OneDrive items. If I go down to drive items here, I can choose my drive items, and we're using Microsoft Graph to get at that. And here we are. We can call that OneDrive, and sure enough, we now have a OneDrive view. So let's just go through and republish this. So in the drop down there, we can now choose OneDrive, and there's our items coming in from OneDrive. And of course, I can go through and do the conditional formatting and everything else that I want to do on that content.
That was easy.
Yeah, really, really straightforward. And if you do want to get into the nitty gritty of it, you can. So you can jump into the advanced mode. So in here is the advanced mode, and against the data source, you can see that here is the query. So these are all the different graph entities that you can go through and query, and there's the query itself. So even that's not complex when you're inside the advanced mode, and you can select your columns and so on all through the columns view here inside the Lightning Conductor. So really straightforward to access there, and yeah, you can also view it inside of Teams too. So this is great, I think, because you can have all of your documents that you used to go into SharePoint to access, or OneDrive, and have them local inside of Teams where you're having all your meetings.
Yep.
So some great little features there.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so yeah, that's what's new. There's a few other things as well under the cover, but yeah, they're the sort of main features that we've been working.
Great. Thanks. Thanks for that little tour. So we'll definitely look forward to giving more information about those in the coming weeks, and have as you said, have a webinar toward the end of the month where you'll do a deep dive into all of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I guess look out for the email as well that we'll send out as soon as this is released, so you can get your hands on it. And yeah, start building some aggregation views.
Great, and it's available as a free trial. So if you haven't tried it before, you can download a free trial, test it out in your own environment, see what it can do for you, and then just let us know when you want to buy it.
Absolutely, why not? All right. Well, hopefully you find that easier than the content by search or the content query web part.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or even just custom column formatting in SharePoint out of the box. It's easier than all those things.
Oh, actually, that's a brand new feature too. I forgot about that one. So
right, yeah.
You can actually take that same JSON that you do have inside your lists if you have built that, and you can apply the same thing to the Lightning Conductor. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and that's been a request by customers too, because they've already done that work, and now they want to do it for the aggregated content. So very cool.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thanks, Sandy, for yet another lightning chat. And sorry.
Enjoy Microsoft Ignite.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hope you have a great day, and speak to you soon.
All right. Yeah. You too. Bye.